With this fourth quarter pass from Drew Bledsoe to Steve Hawkins, the New England Patriots would ahead of the Washington Redskins to stay this evening. This touchdown pass makes it 24-10. Coming up next on Redskins Magazine, highlights and post-game interviews. Stay tuned.
Now from WJLA-TV Sports. This is Redskins Magazine. Your host for Redskins Magazine, Rennie Knott.
Good evening, everyone. We're here at Foxborough Stadium, where the Redskins have just lost this one tonight to the New England Patriots, 27-17. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rennie Knott, your host for Redskins Magazine. It was a hard game tonight for the Washington Redskins. They started off playing very well for the first three quarters, holding a lead going into the fourth quarter of play, but let everything fall apart from there as the Patriots scored 24 fourth quarter points to pull this game out. The Patriots are now 3-0 in the preseason. The Redskins 0-3 and in need of a lot of help. Some things we pointed out during the broadcast as far as the Redskins team go, as far as needs go. They need to work on the defensive line. They need to stop the rush. That was a problem tonight. But also, their rookie quarterback, Heath Shuler, needs a lot of work. He is not polished and is definitely not ready to start the regular season. Joining me for tonight's post-game show, Redskins Magazine, is Chris McKendry. And Chris, highlights tonight, not many for the Redskins.
There weren't, as you said. Heath Shuler needs practice, he needs polish, and the coaches were hoping he'd see a lot of time tonight, but really, we saw a lot of defensive action today. The Patriots were on the field almost double the amount of time as the Redskins were, and Heath Shuler didn't see action until the second half because John Freeze was so limited in the first. So let's go to the highlights. At Foxborough Stadium, the Redskins looking for their first victory, facing the Patriots, who are undefeated this preseason. Norv Turner took the field, and he was hoping to get his first victory. He's now 0-3 in the preseason.
Intercepted.
Now we're into John Freeze. He's a starter, and he stayed in to see more action, but it was rookie Willie McGinnis. First-round pick has a pick, and the Redskins in the second quarter. Ken Harvey, he's the free agent pick, big money in the offseason. He smacks the ball out of Bledsoe's hands, runs it in for 48 yards. It's 7-3. Redskins leading the Patriots. It was the first Patriot turnover this season, and the Redskins made them pay. Continuing in the second quarter, towards the end, Drew Bledsoe had them on a drive. They were within scoring distance. Tries for Bridsby, but it's Daryl Morrison with the Redskins' first interception of the Redskins season. He ends the drive at 7-3 Washington at the half into the third quarter. Heath Shuler's in the game. He's first pass to Brian Mitchell, 10 yards, and he gets to the first down. Then we go to Drew Bledsoe. He's in the fourth quarter, 2 TDs coming into the game, and he hits Steve Hawkins, the rookie, a 4-yard TT. 10-10, rookie William Bell fumbles in the Redskins territory, and the Pats jump on the chance. Rod Smith recovers. Then it's Howard's Jay Walker. He's in the game in the fourth quarter to Corey Kroom, 15-yard TD run, 7-10 Pats lead.
Touchdown Patriots.
Continuing in the fourth quarter, Jay Walker again. A perfect pass to rookie Hawkins. It's Hawkins' second TD of the game, 24-10, 2 for 2, 2 TDs, and as Rennie said, it was 27-17 the final. And an interesting note is Gus Frerotte did come into the fourth quarter and had another touchdown.
You know, Gus Frerotte is doing very well for the Redskins. He's only a rookie this year. You realize that the Redskins selected Gus Frerotte one player before the guy who threw a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter for the New England Patriots, a young man by the name of Jay Walker, and Jay joins us now. He's down on the field, and Jay, I guess this was sort of a revenge game for you, considering the fact that the Redskins passed you up in the college draft. What type of night was it for you?
I don't want to call it revenge. I told everybody, I told you, for a matter of fact, that I would love to play in the D.C. area, but I also told you guys that, you know, the draft is a funny thing, and not too many people thought I'd be around in the 7th round. I'm sure the Redskins didn't either. It wasn't revenge. I'm just going out there trying to do my job.
Jay, talk us through that touchdown pass that you threw.
Well, it's kind of ironic. Before the play had happened, I had talked to the wide receiver that caught the ball, and I told him that's Dondre Owens out there. Dondre's kind of fast. So you're not going to outrun Dondre, but you're a lot taller than he is. So if it's a foot race between you two, I'm going to put it on your back shoulder, and that's exactly what happened.
Jay, that's not very nice. Dondre was a teammate of yours at Howard University. You're supposed to go a little light on the guy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, of course so, but I got the call from the booth, go to X. So he's the X guy, so I'm not trying to get cut for Dondre, just like he's not trying to get cut for me.
What are the coaches telling you right now as far as your chances of making the Patriots this year and maybe backing up Drew Bledsoe?
Well, right now, there are only 3 quarterbacks in camp, so I'm in a good situation. I knew that coming out of the draft. That's one of the reasons they selected me. So it's me, Scott Zolak, and Drew Bledsoe. We're the only 3 quarterbacks here. And he told me basically the job is mine to lose. I'll be on the roster unless I do some stupid things, and I'm just trying to shore it up so they don't bring a veteran quarterback in here. And he just gave me the ultimate compliment right now. He told me he's glad I gave up baseball, so I think I'm doing all right.
Well, right now you guys are 3-0 in the preseason, and last year it wasn't a winning way for you guys, but it seems as though the Patriots got things going on this preseason. What does it look like for the regular season for you guys?
The enthusiasm around here is sky high. You know, D.C., you guys love the Redskins down there. It's equal or maybe a little bit greater right now around here for these guys because we're going to win a lot of games this year. And it's just a great enthusiasm right now. And I love it. I come out here on the field, and me and Willie McGinnis, we're like, oh, my God, this is so exciting. We thought the pro game was kind of dull because we're both from the West Coast. But, I mean, we got a great owner. He's always in the locker room. And we got a great coach, and everybody's enthused around here, and we got a good young squad. We're all young. We're about 5 years apart except for the veterans, and we're ready to win some football games and bring a championship to this way. In D.C., you know I'll do it.
Hey, Jay, this is Chris. I have a question for you. You talk about being a rookie, but you have played professional baseball, and that adds to a lot of maturity, and it looked like we were seeing some of that maturity out on the field tonight. What's been the difference?
Well, I think playing baseball helped me know that this is strictly a business. As much as you love the game of football, it's a business first. If you don't produce, you're going to be gone. They don't play favorites around here. So that's the one aspect of baseball that's helped me a lot. Other than that, though, this is so mentally straining compared to baseball. You can't really compare the two.
Well, joining us now is John Riggins, back in the chair. And you talked about the great play of Jay Walker plus Gus Frerotte, a couple of real good young quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm wondering, number one, if Jay's homeboys are watching tonight. I'm sure that some of the guys from Howard must have had him on the tube tonight. But, yeah, obviously, Drew Bledsoe's got the job sewed up here for the New England Patriots. But as you're talking about Gus Frerotte, here's a rookie that's just, you know, he's really playing fantastic football, actually. And he's making it, I think he's going to make it rough on the coaches, really from a PR standpoint more than anything. As I was saying earlier, I think that that Norv Turner has made his decision to go with Heath Shuler, and that's what's going to happen. The interesting possibility that I can see is would the Redskins consider trading Gus Frerotte? They put him in late in the game. He showed a lot of promise right now. I think that that they would be willing to admit that they would, if they could get some help at wide receiver, they'd certainly take it. And you've got an interesting situation coming on. Actually, Gus Ferrotte's play doesn't really, you know, it helps the Redskins. It might confuse the pitcher a little bit, but I think it's a benefit to him.
Do you think the only difference between Gus and Heath at this point is the repetition Gus got in practice those first 2 weeks where they weren't traveling with all these games?
Well, it's hard to say, Chris, I think, because the way I look at it is they all started together out at Redskin Park, and they put a lot of work in this summer, actually this spring. I think it started in May, and then they had all these quarterback clinics, and Heath Shuler's been there for all that. Now, he missed a little bit of training camp, and there is a difference. You get people in there, and they're hitting you and slapping you around a little bit, but it seems to me that Gus Frerotte has shown a little bit more poise, actually, than Heath Shuler. I see Gus Frerotte when he gets in a situation where he actually reads downfield, he finds people open downfield, and Heath Shuler, I think, is real quick. He gives up on the people downfield. And I would dare say we could find a stat, but he has thrown the ball in the flat an awfully lot of times, and I think that he's got to start looking downfield.
Right now we're looking at the quarterback comparisons from tonight. You see John Freeze started the game. He was 6 of 8, 53 yards, threw 1 interception. Shuler came in to mop up after that, 5 of 8, 38 yards, no INTs, but then again, no touchdown passes. Gus Frerotte, the man on everyone's tongue right now, 3 of 4, 48 yards, but the most impressive stat, of course, is that 1 touchdown pass that he threw in the 4th quarter. When we come back, more from Redskins Magazine in the postgame show. We'll see you in a bit.
Tonight's Redskins Magazine is brought to you by Exxon and by your friends at Toyota. For quality and value that's simply the best, see your Toyota dealer today.
Now's the time to get a Camry.
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, cause it's going fast.
Camry's at 2.9% financing, but for a limited time only.
If you want it, anytime I can give
The
it.
wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the Camry deal you want. There's only one Toyota clearance a year. Toyota's nationwide clearance. See your Toyota dealer now.
Our ancestors had a tradition of caring for others in tribal communities. Responsibilities were shared that bound the tribe together. This is the spirit in all of us. Today, the people of Dow are joining Habitat for Humanity in communities like the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation, sharing their skills, donating Dow home insulation, working alongside people they've never met, building new homes and new hope.
One thing you have to remember when you're dealing with people is that they're all different. So I better have different kinds of chicken, and I better have different kinds of fixings to go from the different kinds of chicken. If you give someone a good meal at a fair price, they'll come back to you.
The KFC $10.99 Family Choice Meals offer your choice of 8 delicious pieces of original recipe or extra tasty crispy chicken or a whole Colonel's rotisserie gold chicken. Each meal comes complete with large mashed potatoes with gravy, large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits, all for just $10.99.
It started with an idea that has now won the prestigious Thomas Edison Patent Award, which annually recognizes major innovations in technology. The award was won by Exxon for a gasoline additive that controls deposits for a cleaner engine, which reduces emissions for cleaner air and improves performance. Next time you fill up, rely on the award-winning gasolines from Exxon.
Welcome back to Redskins Magazine. It's a post-game show this time around. Not a great post-game show for the fact that the Redskins lost this evening after holding their own for pretty much the first 3 quarters of the ball game against New England Patriots. Final score 27-17 in favor of those Patriots. Joining us now to talk about this contest, Tim Brandt, who handled the play-by-play duties this evening. And Tim, looking at this ball game, it was almost a tale of 2 teams as far as the Redskins go. The first unit played fairly well. Second unit sloppy and just out of it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem early on, all the way until mid-season or longer. I think there's been a tremendous inconsistency by the Washington Redskins, especially when they start making substitutions. Once they get away from the starters, you are going to start seeing guys starting to work back in. We saw Leonard Marshall tonight. We'll see Brooks next week. Tim Johnson is working his way back into the lineup. But I think if Norv Turner is going to have any success early on, he's got to find some kind of consistency when he substitutes, and he has not been getting that.
Well, Tim, we've got Norv Turner on the field right now, ready to talk some football with us. And, Coach, what are your concerns right now with that second-team unit? It seems as though they're not coming in there with the same intensity as the first team.
Well, the biggest thing, obviously, with the second team is there's some guys that are playing in there that won't be on our team when we get started. There are so many things that please me about tonight's performance. I thought the defense against a New England team that looks like they can run the ball pretty well and has a nice offensive line just hung in there and battled and battled and battled. They really didn't break down until it was the second group, and we fumbled the ball a couple times, basically back-to-back plays. Ken Harvey's big play, that's obviously why we wanted Ken Harvey here. He can make some big plays. I thought our offensive line got the running game going better as we went on. We just need to get better at third down conversions on both sides of the ball so we get more opportunities.
Coach, looking at your quarterbacking situation tonight, Heath Schuler comes in and did okay for a while there, but made a few mistakes. How far away do you think he is right now from possibly starting for you?
Well, that's really a tough question, and for the first time, I had the feeling he was comfortable playing. We didn't ask him to do a lot of things, and the circumstances dictated that a little bit, but I felt more comfortable with him tonight than I have. I thought John Freeze was good early. You know, he had the 1 interception, but we got pressure inside, and Ricky Ervins basically ran behind a defender, something that you just can't do. So I think that problem can be eliminated.
Norv, Tim Brandt, we were talking about the consistency, especially late in the ball games, as you said, with some guys that won't even be here. But then Gus Frerotte gets in. How do you keep a guy like that? And you've worked so well with young quarterbacks. How do you handle a guy who's had so much success, and yet really he'll be holding a clipboard and learning with you?
Well, Gus is, you know, he's a rookie, and he's got an outstanding career in front of him, and he went in the fourth quarter, and he can throw the ball, and you know, they were backed off and playing a little looser, and he made the plays that were there. So you got to feel happy about him, and I don't think he's going to be impatient about the thing. He knows that he's a young player, and he's got a great future.
Coach, this is Chris. You said after last game you felt Heath was just a little bit off and there wasn't much more to go. Did you see improvement this game?
Yeah, I've seen improvement the last week in practice, and it wasn't a real long week. We basically had two practices, Monday and Tuesday, and a real short one Wednesday. But he's gotten better. He's getting more comfortable with the calls, with the other players. And, you know, I thought he was fine tonight.
Norv, 4 quarters away now from your first regular season game as head coach. You'll start to get some guys back. I know Reggie was back in practice this week, did not play tonight. Timmy Johnson. How about these guys? How important is it for them to get in and get some reps next week?
Well, you hit on it when I first put the headset on. We need every player we can have. And during a season, guys are going to get nicked. We need Reggie Brooks. We need Tim Johnson, John Giesick. We need every quality player that we can get in there. You know, the one thing that I'm pleased about, and I know the scoreboard tonight doesn't indicate it, we have gotten better in each game. You know, I don't know what the time was when we fumbled, when William fumbled, but we were in a close football game. I actually thought we were going to win the game until William fumbled.
Coach, thank you very much for joining us here in the post-game show, and have a safe trip back to D.C. We'll see you when we arrive back down there.
Okay, thank you.
And that does it for the first couple of interviews here on Redskins Magazine, but be sure to stay with us. Much more to come here from Foxborough Stadium.
Question. Name the only mid-size club cab with an available V8, more total room than Ranger and S10, and is only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Dakota. A little bigger, a lot better. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer. Question. What is the 94 automobile of the year? What comes nicely equipped for around $13,000 and is only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Neon. Now go have some fun. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Ladies and gents, Domino's presents
Domino's new deep dish pizza.
It's really something.
With an extra deep, zesty crust, overflowing with melty mozzarella, browned to the very edge.
Nothing else tastes like this.
Try it now and also get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Right now, when you buy any large 2-topping ultimate deep dish pizza at regular price, you'll receive a medium 1-topping pizza free. Call now.
You can project light in any direction, but unless it's focused, you can't see clearly. That's why Infinity employed special projector beam headlights for the J30 to safely focus light where you need it. The J also has dual airbags, ABS, and seatbelt pretensioners, but you're less likely to need them if you see the light.
Lease one of the world's most advanced automobiles, now at a very special rate for a limited time.
It started with an idea that has now won the prestigious Thomas Edison Patent Award, which annually recognizes major innovations in technology. The award was won by Exxon for a gasoline additive that controls deposits for a cleaner engine, which reduces emissions for cleaner air and improves performance. Next time you fill up, rely on the award-winning gasolines from Exxon.
Welcome back to Redskins Magazine. I'm your host, Rennie Knott, alongside Chris McKendry and Tim Brandt. And down on the field, we have Redskins running back Ricky Ervins. And Ricky, first of all, thanks a lot for stopping by. It's a cold, wet night down there. You had a fairly decent evening, 15 rushes, 58 yards, your longest run of 9 yards. How confident are you guys now in that running game?
Well, I think we get, each practice that we have, we get very confident, especially with this game right here. We decided to run the ball a lot more and just do little things, go too tights and everything. But I think we get kind of confident.
Do you think, though, that you guys need to hit the ball up the middle a little bit more? It seems as though you're trying to get a lot of the balls out to the outside.
Well, that's just my fault. I think I'm trying to do too much. I'm trying to pick the holes. We hitting the ball. We running 40 gut, 40 slant, which is like an inside run. And, of course, we ran, a few off tackle. But I think it's all my fault. I think I could hit it up the middle, got more yards, but I'm trying to do too much right now.
Talk to me right now about that interception in the first half. You were running a pass route. Seems as though you got behind the linebacker and he picked the ball off.
Yeah, it was a sneak play. You're supposed to look downfield. I'm supposed to go under the linebacker, and I try to get behind him because I thought I could get some yardage. And I guess he was being rushed and he threw the ball, and it was my fault that it was an interception.
Ricky, Tim Brandt here. When Reggie comes back this week, how do you guys divvy up time coming back? He's got the fresh legs. You've been working all the way through camp. How about next week? How do they divide the time between you guys?
You know, I don't know. I'm sure they're going to figure out a way. Right now, my ankle's kind of sore, so he probably get most of the playing time right now, and we just had to go from there.
You guys are 4 quarters away now from starting the regular season. How close to being ready are you guys?
I think we're very close because we haven't really used our whole offense. You know, we just did a basic plays, you know, trying to run the ball left and right, you know, get a few passes here and there, but I think we haven't really put our whole offense in.
You know, it's interesting when you talk to you and the rest of the Redskins, you really feel as if you're going to surprise a lot of people. I mean, the confidence level, very, very high.
That's what you need, though. I mean, everyone, we see it in practice and we see it on the field. I mean, we were in the ball game. Actually, we could have won it, but those turnovers. But you could just see the enthusiasm, the just confidence all over.
Ricky, this is Chris. You talk about the turnovers, and it seems you're in the game, you're winning the game for at least the half, now 2 games straight, and then the turnovers creep up and they're haunting you, and Coach said he's not going to tolerate dumb mistakes. Where does that stop? Is it just a matter of time and the team getting to gel together?
I think so. I think we just need more playing time, more experience, because as you know, this is a new team. And I think we just need more experience. Another game, which we play Pittsburgh, and hopefully that's going to determine, you know, where we're going to be in the future.
All right, Ricky, I thank you a lot for stopping by and talking with us. Once you get on out of there, getting some dry clothes, and head on back to Washington, all right?
All right, thanks, Rennie.
All right, Ricky Ervins, running back for the Washington Redskins, and we know the final score is 27-17. I guess that's the stat that counts the most. But let's look at some of the other numbers from this contest tonight. First rounds, the Redskins were half as many as the Patriots, 24-12 there. Rushing yards, 162-69. That is a terrible stat right there for the Redskins rushing defense. As far as the passing goes, 193, 129. Again, the Patriots ahead there. Total yards, 355, 198 for the Redskins. Turnovers, 3 for Washington and 2 for the Patriots. Of course, those turnovers were tough on the Redskins. Killed a couple of drives when they had a chance to go in there and score. You saw the interception that happened in the first half when Ricky Ervins went behind the defender. Joining us now from the New England Patriots is Ray Crittenden. And Ray, first of all, how do you pronounce that last name correctly?
It's Ray Crittenden.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You seem to be a big play man for this offensive unit, not just catching the ball out of the pass routes, but also on the kickoff returns. Talk to me about that one kickoff return in the first half, or in the second half, that you almost returned all the way.
Well, we've been working on that the entire preseason. I think the first 2 games we really didn't get a chance to come out and really show what we could do. So we really wanted to execute and see if we can get ahead on each man, and I just hit the holes.
Now, like Jay Walker and Eugene Chung, you come from out of the Washington, D.C. area. What was it like for you tonight to play against the Washington Redskins?
Oh, it was great. It was almost as if I was playing for them, although I was against them.
Trust me, from our point of view, you were not playing for the Redskins tonight.
Hey, Ray, you finished the regular season with 4 wins in a row last year. You come in, you're 3-0 in the preseason. What's the confidence level like now for the Patriots? Because everybody says, hey, Buffalo's in the AFC. They're the powerhouse. Nobody can play up to them. Hey, you talk to Bill Parcells. He says, we're almost there.
Well, I don't know if Bill said we're almost there. I still think we have a long way to go, but it's that momentum. I think when we keep executing and making plays and we get the W at the end of the game, it means a lot.
Hey, Ray, what's the difference in Drew Bledsoe this year? We're talking a lot about rookie quarterbacks, and he's in his second year, and he has a real strong arm. Can you see his confidence level a little higher?
Oh, definitely. His confidence is there. He's a lot more accurate, and I think his reads are a lot better. I think Drew's really come along well.
So can we look forward to that maybe next year with some of our rookies?
I hope so. I hope so.
All right, Ray, I thank you very much for joining us here, and best of luck to the Patriots this season. Since you guys are in the AFC, I guess we can say that with confidence. Maybe you guys will meet again in the Super Bowl sometime down the line.
I hope so. Thank you.
All right. That was a fine young man as far as offensive talent goes with the New England Patriots. Somebody's probably going to do some big things in the AFC this season. Coming up, we'll have more from Redskins Magazine live from Foxborough Stadium. Stay tuned.
Now's the time to get a Camry.
If you want it, here it is, come and get it. But you better hurry, cause it's going fast.
Camry's at 2.9% financing, but for a limited time only.
If you want it, anytime I can give
The
it.
wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the Camry deal you want. There's only one Toyota clearance a year. Toyota's nationwide clearance. See your Toyota dealer now.
When it's time to go back to school, Drug Emporium has something for everyone. From crayons to calculators to cosmetics, we have more of everything you need to excel at your favorite subject. Drug Emporium. Savings so big you need a shopping cart.
Grab a cart for these back-to-school cart stuffer specials. Get $1 off your favorite Maybelline products. Save up to $2 on Dr. Scholl's products. And get Playtex tampons for just $2.99. Only at Drug Emporium.
Savings so big, you need a shopping cart.
I'm busting a grin from ear to ear, cause Roy's Philly cheesesteak is once again here. Sliced steak, grilled onions, cheese all a-melt. Ooh-wee, excuse me while I loosen my belt. At $1.99, Roy's Philly can't be beat. And if you're craving more, you can double the meat. So get a move on, cause this deal will soon skedaddle. The only ones left busting the grin will be the cattle.
For breakfast, try Roy Rogers' new Dude Ranch Bagel Sandwich.
There are two kinds of people. People who prefer 2.9% financing for 48 months, and those who prefer $750 cash back. So right now, your local Ford dealer is offering you a choice on the #1 selling truck in America, Ford F-Series. The 2.9 people will be pleased about lower monthly payments. The $750 cash back folks will be happy since they can use the money for a down payment. But no matter which kind of person you are, you better hurry.
Welcome back to Redskins Magazine. We're live at Foxborough. I'm with Rennie Knott and Chris McHenry. And you know, game statistics, sometimes they can be a player's nightmare. Sometimes they're a player's dream. They don't always tell the whole game or the whole story of the game, as tonight it was 27-17, but Coach was still very pleased. However, they're critical to a game, and critical to our broadcast is our statistician. So I now introduce you to Marty Aronoff. He's our statistician, and here he is in action.
See the number on Freeze, 5 for 9, 96 yards.
While listening to the broadcast of the Redskins game, did you ever wonder how play-by-play announcers like Tim Brandt are able to see every play, recording every motion, then calculate and report each statistic so effortlessly?
He went 21 for 28 in the fourth quarter of the first two playoff games. Right now, he's 7.
Secret's out. Tim has an extra pair of eyes, ears, and a human calculator in statistician Marty Aronoff.
37 yards, no return.
That kick only 37 yards, no return.
He's very quick with the numbers. He'll tell you how long the punt is and how long the return is, almost before you even finish your thought.
Joe Montana, 16-6 as a starter in playoff games.
You don't have to use all of it that he gives you, but I always want to know how many passes the quarterback has completed, how many yards a certain runner may have, what the penalty situation is, how many timeouts are left. A lot of times you can't get to the scoreboard quick enough to get that information.
Armed with a pair of binoculars, a bottle of water, scraps of paper, and a few pens, Marty travels the country living a rotisserie player's dream.
There's a lot going on in the 45 seconds between any play. It's important for me to listen to him and then have something ready when I know he's going to be looking towards me. I've worked with the same announcers for a lot of years. They trust me, and I know what they want and when they want it.
It's like a marriage. I mean, you know what they do before they even do it.
And like any marriage, they learn to work through the bad parts.
His handwriting needs to be improved. He should have been a doctor with that handwriting, because you can't read it.
Communicating with the broadcast team is only half of his job. The other half is getting the message to you. How does he do that? Well, by talking to the people in this truck.
Lord, you want updates, Shul? What I'm doing is trying to communicate with a lot of people at once. Lisa, let's try to get the down and distance on every play on this drive.
Okay.
Number 3, first down for Montana. He's got 106.
While Marty communicates with Tim by paper, his information reaches the producers and directors through his headset. From the truck, graphics are created and the information passed on to the audience.
Down's good.
Key out. Redskins need 9. Second down.
Football is the most difficult for me because on any one play you can be updating team stats, an individual passer, a receiver, trying to write down where the ball is, and like I said, it's all under less than a minute. So football really is more concentrated than any sport.
And this season, the Redskins, featuring almost 40 new faces, are really keeping this native Washingtonian alert.
And got very familiar with all the numbers that we've seen for 10, 12 years. So I'm looking down at my sheet with their individual names and numbers tonight more than any Redskin game I've ever worked.
And the talent must be in the genes because Marty's son John is also a statistician trotting the globe. He recently worked at the Goodwill Games. Pretty wicked family going on there, Rennie.
I tell you, you got to be quick with the math. You want to hang out with the Aeronauts, I'll tell you that much. Joining us now is John Riggins, the Hall of Fame running back with the Washington Redskins. And, John, I found something interesting with Ricky Ervins. He says that he's feeling comfortable with the running game. He thinks the running game is in stride. But as you look at this game, I think you would disagree with that.
Well, first of all, let's talk about something really important, and I will answer that question in a second. Okay. Was I CC tonight, or was I CC? Totally color-coordinated.
And he's got the clean shoes on, too.
Yeah, and I got brand new shoes on. That's the reason I couldn't go on the field. So my apologies. I do disagree with that observation. I don't think it's so much that it's not going. I think it's just a matter of the fact that they haven't got an opportunity to really uncork it. I think it's an interesting situation with the running game. I did a little research last night, which is, unusual for me. And I came up with the conclusion that actually, if you look at Reggie Brooks' season last year, he had, I think, 1,080 yards, something like that, approximately, on about 280 carries. If you break that back down, he had 15 carries for 388 yards. 15 carries for 388 yards. And then he had about 200 carries, or somewhere in there. Obviously, my math isn't quite, and I don't have the stats in front of me, but for about 670 yards, which the one broke out to about 25 yards a carry, and the other one broke out to about 3.2 yards a carry. Now, Reggie Brooks is a guy that's been nicked up a little bit in college, and he's coming in with an injury. I'm a little apprehensive. I mean, he's definitely the guy. He's got what, and I'm sure that that's what Norv Turner likes about Reggie, is he's got that Emmitt Smith explosiveness. He can go the distance in any given play. But I don't think he has what Emmitt Smith has, which is that down in and down out, that he can carry it, 25, 30 times a game, and he's going to go for 16 games. That's where I think that that Ricky Ervins comes in and plays a very strong role, as well as Tyrone Rush if he gets healthy. I know I talked to Coach Turner today, and I said, I think that you'd like to get your running game going. And he said, yes, we would. But, unfortunately, the circumstances tonight in this game didn't really dictate that they could. They did try to run the football. And to finally answer the question, I do disagree with Ricky. I didn't really think that they knocked the Patriots off the football.
Let's talk some defense right now. Standing by live with us on the field is Ken Harvey, the linebacker, number 57 for the Washington Redskins. And Ken, first of all, you make the big play tonight, the fumble recovery. What did you see when you picked up that football?
Well, the main thing I saw was just the run to the goal line. I just wanted to try to make something happen, try to get our team going, and I did an inside stunt there, and we both tried. Me and Leonard tried to strip the ball, and once it was on the ground, just pick it up and go for the goal line. That's what you're taught to do, and don't stop until the whistle's blown.
Well, that was a combination of two free agents getting together for the Redskins there. How is the defensive unit gelling together now?
I think we're starting to gel together pretty well. We made some mistakes, but we did some things well. We had some turnovers, but we didn't let them score big points on us. And I think eventually, by the beginning of the season, we'll be just where we need to be.
Hey, Ken, this is Chris, and the Patriots came in with no takeaways this game, and you had 2 in the first half as the Redskin defense. You told me before it was just a matter of time before you felt like family. And, the first half, they had the offense on the field more than the half of the first half, but you only allowed 3 points on the board.
Yeah, I think that's the defense that we have. We need to work on some things, but we're not going to let people score on us. And they were on the field a long time. And that's one of the things we have to work on, is getting off the field a lot earlier. But we're not going to give up points. And no matter how long a team is on the field, as long as you don't give up points, you can win the game.
Ken Harvey, John Riggins, congratulations, by the way, on a very fine football game. And I understand, actually, if they were to give an MVP award, Ken Harvey would probably get it at this point in the season. Going back to the fumble, right now I feel that the defense could really help the offense. As you well know, I think that Heath Schuler's struggling a little bit and the offense is having trouble. Do you guys feel pressure on you to do exactly what you did, is make a big play? Because I know from when I was playing, when the defense scores for you, it makes it a lot easier as an offensive ball player.
Well, the pressure we feel is just as a team. We want to win as a team, and if part of our team isn't doing so well, then we have to pick things up, and we have to take care and carry them on our shoulders, just like they'll do for us. And the biggest thing is we just want to be a team.
Well, when you talk about earlier with Rennie that you're gelling, you still have a lot of guys in camp that won't be with you when they make the final cuts. I'm like the psychology of the team. Do you really? I mean, have you been able to get across that point? Is the team starting to bond somewhat? Do you guys have a feel who you think will be there as opposed to the fans and say us sportscasters that really, you guys are on the inside and we got to, kind of look through the cracks in the windows to figure out what's going on. Do you guys have that feeling?
Well, we have a bond with everybody. I mean, everyone that's here right now is part of the family, and regardless of who leaves or who stays, that's still going to be part of the family. And you just have to work together, and the guys we have so far, we're gelling together, and if someone has to leave, we'll just keep the rest of the guys and make it that much stronger.
Ken, thank you very much for joining us here in the post-game show. Best of luck to you next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
All right, Ken Harvey, linebacker with the Washington Redskins, the guy that John feels is the MVP for tonight's game. The big fumble recovery in the first half returns it all the way the distance for the touchdown. Well, the folks here at Foxborough Stadium are on their way out very, very slowly. Nothing but traffic lights, tail lights, and headlights. When we come back, more of the post-game show live from Foxborough Stadium. Stay tuned.
Sweetheart, do you mind? I love being in control, don't you? Of course, it's not always easy when I've got the kids in the car and I'm running late. Hey, that's why I love this Exxon Express Pay. I pull up, stick my card in here, pump my gas, I use Supreme, grab my receipt, and I'm out of here.
Now through September 29th, stop at Exxon on Thrifty Thursdays and save up to 6 cents a gallon on Exxon Supreme. And while you're there, ask how you can use your Most card and save $1 more.
Question: what car changed everything? What truly remarkable car comes at a price you can afford and only at your Dodge dealer? Answer: Dodge Intrepid. I'll bet you knew that. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer. Question: what is the 94 Automobile of the Year? What comes nicely equipped for around $13,000 and is only at your Dodge dealer? Answer: Dodge Neon. Now go have some fun. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Recently, we asked family members from households across America which form of entertainment they preferred. The new video cassette release of Beethoven Second, full of romance, action, and madcap canine comedy, or a common fire hydrant. As you can see, for family entertainment, the choice is unanimous. Just about. Beethoven Second from MCA Universal Home Video. Fetch a copy today for only $24.98.
Looking for a Toyota truck deal?
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, 'cause it's going fast.
All new Extra Cab Options package saves you over $1,700.
If you want it, anytime.
The wait is over. Toyota's clearance is on now. Don't miss your chance to get the deal you want on trucks, T100s, and 4Runners. There's only one Toyota nationwide clearance a year. See your Toyota dealer now.
Welcome back to Foxborough. We were just talking defense with Ken Harvey. For the first time since the 70s, there's a new defensive coordinator. That's Ron Lynn, and tonight was his orchestration. Well, he took time with us to do our video training camp this week, and he joins the defensive unit from Sherwood High School and their coach, Bob Malloy.
You have to be able to tackle to play defense. There are fundamentals that every guy has to go through. I'm going to put you guys through some of those fundamental things that we put our guys through. We always want to be sure that we eliminate the injury factor as much as we possibly can from what is a game that involves high-speed collisions. So what I'd like you to do here is let's all stand along this line and just face me. Now, as best you can, put your feet a little tighter than shoulder width, just a little bit tighter, not much, just a little tighter than shoulder width, about where your armpits are. Now, I'd like you to put your hands out in front of you and bend down as far as you can go, okay? If you can go all the way down, let's see how far you can go, okay? All the way down if you can. What we're trying to get is a big angle here, a 90-degree angle here, and a 90-degree angle or better right here, so we're able to lower our center of gravity without changing our head position. Our eyes ought to always be able to be up so that anatomically we're in a good position. The neck is able to support the head and the accompanying helmet that's going to be with it. what we'd like to do is get your eyes up, and put them just slightly offset so that you would be right where the ball is and your head perfectly straight. Stand back here so you can see where the head is. We are going to take most of the brunt of this blow, certainly with the shoulder. We don't want to take it with the head. We want to keep the head erect so the neck can support the head. The quadriceps here allow the extension of the leg, and the hamstrings create the extension of the leg. When you keep hearing about those big hitters in football, and I think it's a good thing to teach tackling without the shoulder pads, without the helmet, because you can see where the guy's eyes are and where the face is and where the neck is and where the shoulders are and when a guy's doing it the correct way and when he's not. And we'll just walk into the tackle, and notice as I'm coming, I'm dropping my hind end, I'm dropping my butt, so I'm getting back to the big angles in the hip, big angles in the ankle, big ankles in the knee. As I come into the through and into the tackle and look for a cloud, which causes me to bring my hips to and through. Got a blocker. We'll let this sled simulate the blocker that you have to beat first before you get to the ball carrier. And if you don't beat this guy, it's all for naught because you never get to him. Okay? The more you get to bend the knees, the bigger the hits you're going to get. All the Ronnie Lott hits and all those guys, you know, that have those big-time hits, those are guys that are great knee benders. They have a great ability to bend their knees, and when they do explode, it is with the big muscles of the body that allow them to make the big hits. Like we tell our guys, the only thing that keeps a guy from being a successful tackler is about 1,000 repetitions. So you got to do it and do it and do it until it all becomes second nature to you.
Smack into the arms of Tim Johnson.
And of course, Channel 7 and the Redskins want all area high school kids to have a fair shot at these lessons, so we will be compiling all of the lessons onto a tape and distributing throughout the area at the end of the season. And Randy Knott will be on that tape, and I know you're still dying to get your hands on one.
You know, I will have one. I have a few by the time this is all said and done. But an interesting point that Ryland made was the repetitions, you know, and it's very important that you practice and practice again. As we're seeing with Heath Hewler with the Redskins during the preseason, he hasn't had those repetitions, so he's still trying to learn the offense, learn how things flow, so it becomes second nature and not something he has to think about. Going back to defense and tackling, the most important part about tackling is to come in under control. You just can't come in looking for that big hit because guys have moves. They'll slip away from you and they're gone. So you don't want to miss the tackle. You don't want to grab at air. You want to be under control.
And we know you know that.
Not really, because I've missed quite a few tackles in my lifetime playing college football. But,
and the repetitions also helps the team to gel, just like Ken Harvey was saying. Time after time, day after day, they're gelling.
The one thing that you get from the repetitions and repetitions together as a team is that you learn who you can rely on, who's going to do what for you, who's going to be where, who's got the speed, who's the guy that's going to chase somebody down, who's going to be the big hit person, who's the best guy against the run, the best guy against the pass. And the Redskins now are still trying to fill each other out. You got to remember, 11 starters from last season are no longer here. There's a lot of new faces out there, so they got to get accustomed to one another. Practice doesn't always do that. You have to do it sometimes by doing it in a game situation. What's up next?
Well, coming up next, you're going to introduce us to another group of guys very important to the game. They're the Scouts, and we come back from a jam-packed Foxborough Stadium. Everybody trying to get out.
Go home.
All right, a quick stop, and we are out of here.
At Mobile, we accept more credit and ATM cards than any other station, with no extra cost. Which means we'll take just about any card you might have.
What did you do?
Or have left.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Take this?
Sure, no problem.
Oh, great.
We take almost everything.
Would you take a dog?
Mobile, how can we help you?
And front and rear crumple zones. But unlike other luxury sedans, this one starts under $14,000. Because you shouldn't have to spend your life savings on a car that could very possibly save your life. The Nissan Altima. It's time to expect more from a car.
Gold Rush from the Virginia Lottery, with prizes from a free ticket up to $25,000. It could be exactly what you're looking for.
Food Lion's just great. Extra low prices, top quality name brands, well, like these wonderful Kraft General Foods products. And now, Food Lion and Kraft General Foods are giving you a chance to win one of 24 $1,000 shopping sprees and a $500 contribution to the school of your choice. But you can find out how to enter by visiting the Kraft General Foods display at your Food Lion. Imagine 24 $1,000 shopping sprees and a $500 contribution to the school of your choice, and you don't even have to buy anything.
Welcome back to Redskins Magazine and Foxborough Stadium. I'm your host for the magazine show, Rennie Knott. Let me tell you something about the advent of free agency and the salary cap of the NFL. It has made the jobs a little bit harder for the scouts on the ball clubs throughout the NFL. What's important now is to find that player out there that you could pay the least amount of money to and still get the maximum amount of work from. So that means those late round draft picks and those free agents scattered throughout the league that could possibly come in and work for a ball club. Now, the work of the scouts is never done. It's not just the off-season or the preseason. It also goes through the regular season. So for the scouts of the Washington Redskins, the job of evaluating talent never ends.
I know it's coming.
Coaches weren't the only ones roaming the practice fields in Carlisle during training camp. Members of the Redskins scouting department spent time watching and studying players who they evaluated and helped select.
In a sense, you got to feel like a prospector trying to find that diamond in the rough.
Well, ideally, that's the name of it. Yeah, heck yeah. And it's a gratifying thing when you can find one of those guys. You know, last year we were fortunate enough to get the Hollenquist kid who was late, but made some plays and has done a good job for us. And
how do you go about looking at the players that you've already brought in? I mean, do you view them kind of like a dad viewing his kids out at practice?
No, well, sometimes you get attached to some players for one reason or another, but you try and be as objective as you can, and you know, they're your guys, and you want to see them do well.
You want a fighter, you want a competitor on any side of the ball, and I don't think you can exclude a good guy out of that category.
Do you ever look for a nasty side in a guy?
The nasty kid is usually a really top competitor, never quits, and his motor's going all the time. And then he has a little extra mean streak in him where, I hate to say it, but he wants to hurt people.
Well, that's sort of the name of the game.
Right.
In their minds, certain players have stuck out.
When I first saw Trey Johnson, I said, hey, that's a man right there. That's a man. I don't think they won a game last year, but he still competed, you know, and you look for those kind of things in a guy.
The William Bell kid kind of impresses me. He's playing with some intensity, and he's kind of deceiving. He could maybe play a little bit of fullback, maybe a little bit of running back. Titus Winans, I think he'll be all right.
And that is a great one-handed grab.
Scouting and drafting players isn't an exact science. For every free agent find like a Mel Kaufman, there's always a Farley Bell.
I was a free agent that nobody wanted, so when I go out, I don't overlook anybody. You know, I give every guy a chance. I don't care if he came from small college like Mississippi State, you know, as opposed to maybe Penn State or USC or something like that. You know, I'm looking for a guy who's going to play football and who can possibly come in and help the Washington Redskins.
Have you ever had one of those times where you thought a guy was going to make this team and he comes out here and just totally bombs?
Yeah. But I won't tell you who it is.
He might be watching. What is, I mean, how disappointing is that, though?
It's a team thing, and you get to a team decision, just like coaching staffs do, with who they're going to play and who they think deserves the reps. We get to a decision in scouting where you might have more of an influence and more exposure on a guy, and you feel better about a guy, but you know that once you get him here, it's the coach's decision, and so you don't get too tied to him on the downside.
Now, what you've seen in me, can I make the team?
You definitely got the look. Let me tell you, can you run down the field and like sell out on a kickoff?
We'll have to talk about that. It depends on how big the contract is. How big is the contract that you got for me?
We're going to start at the minimum rate. Since you will be classified as a rookie, you have to come in $108,000.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it. I'm in. Hey, trying out.
I would too.
On second thought, I'm Nadia. No way I'm going to go out there and get beat up by these guys. Now, the scouts and the coaches on the Redskins will have a very busy weekend. You see, the rosters on the team have to be trimmed down to 60 players by Tuesday. That means 14 cuts from the Redskins roster. Coming up next on Redskins Magazine, we'll introduce you to Tom Carter, Washington's big play cornerback. Stay tuned.
At Mobile, we can help you fill up fast by paying right at the pump.
Wedding.
With more credit and ATM cards than any other station.
That's me.
So you can pull up, pump up, pay up, and still get to the church on time. Mobile, how can we help you?
Hi, I'm Redskins head coach Norv Turner. Come on out to RFK on Friday, August 26th to see us play the Steelers in our final preseason game. Hey, Coach, how about wearing the new hat? Hey, this really is a new hat to wear. It's the Redskins anniversary hat commemorating the NFL's 75th year, courtesy of Mobile Oil. You can get one free just by coming to the game.
Tickets are available at the Redskins box office and at all Ticketmaster outlets in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. MasterCard and Visa accepted.
Reg, if you rush for 100 yards, I'll wear any hat you want.
The reason why I practice with an HMO is really pretty simple. Better health care. In an HMO, my patients get more comprehensive benefits, preventive care to keep them healthy, and because they're covered up front, they can come and see me when they need to. The difference is with an HMO, I can put my patients' needs first, and that's the kind of quality health care I believe in.
HMOs, health reform that works, a choice we need to keep.
Question. Name Motor Trend's 94 Truck of the Year. What truck offers overall the most powerful lineup of engines on the planet and is only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Ram. Now get to work. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer. Question. What car changed everything? What truly remarkable car comes at a price you can afford and only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Intrepid. I'll bet you knew that. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer.
Welcome back to Redskins Magazine. You know, a year ago, the Washington Redskins made the Notre Dame connection in the college draft, picking up Reggie Brooks and Tom Carter. Both had excellent first years with the Redskins, as both made big plays, leading the team in certain categories. But Tom Carter's year wasn't always as big. You see, not only did he make plays, he also gave up some. Now, in his second season with the Redskins, he's looking to follow in the footsteps of teammate Darrell Green and become a future All-Pro.
A season ago, Tom Carter led the Washington Redskins with 6 interceptions.
Looks to Clark, and he's picked off. And look out, this could be run back. Tom Carter.
His play was full of potential, but he couldn't get the first-year pressures out of his mind.
You know, it's more like being nervous. You know, no matter what level you are, you're a freshman in high school. I felt the same way my freshman year of college starting. It's just like you're nervous and almost like robot-type pace. You know, you've been programmed. You want to go out and just do what the coaches say. And, you know, as far as the difference from last year and this year, you know, that feeling is totally gone.
Right.
And you just go out there and try to make plays now.
I just think that he was a high-round draft choice, and coming into the National Football League, excited to the fact that he saw a lot of guys that he probably had a lot of respect for, and all we had to do is give him confidence in his ability and let him know that he could cover those people, but it didn't take long for him to settle down.
Together with Darrell Green, he forms the youngest and oldest cornerback combination in the NFL.
I take it as a challenge playing next to Darrell. You know, every week, you know, I want to go out there, play hard. I know balls going to be thrown at me. And I look at it, you know, opportunity to get interceptions and make big plays.
I think he has great ball skills. He probably has one of the best ball skill guys I've ever been around. You know, Barry Woodward was a great ball guy. And I think Tom will make a lot of interceptions, a lot of big plays. And I think the more he gets